welcome to our edition of Behind the Ropes Media. I'm your host, Vince LaSpada. Alongside, as always, Niko Extra. What's going on, my friend?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We love you all.
Thank you. Good night. And our partner in crime, Mr. Jay Bar. What's going on, buddy?
What's good, fellas? Good to be back at it, man. It's been a while.
Thank you for you joining us from YouTube. Probably the first time a lot of people joining us since the account.
If you're from YouTube, please go to the page and like and subscribe.
Kia, what's up? Thanks for joining us.
Well, fellas, NXT War Games is now in the book. You both got to go, which I kind of regret not going, and I kind of hate both of you right now because that was a fucking fantastic show. Real quick before we get into the actual War Games review, I'm gonna take about 2 minutes and have each one of you just give me a couple highlights of your night and your experience at War Games.
Oh man, let me go first. War Games was unlike any other experience I've ever been to. I've been to a lot of WrestleManias, I've been to a lot of Royal Rumbles, but being a part of War Games in that intimate arena of, I don't know, 40 to 50 people, being that close to the ring and seeing the action that we were able to see. And I got to be honest, the star of the show is Pat McAfee. That man did some moves that I wasn't expecting. And you can't take away anyone that takes a dive off the top of the cage, but like that dude stole the show. And the way they did it with the fireworks, the music, it was just a top-notch show altogether. The effort put in, the women starting out the show had an amazing performance. One of the best performances I've seen in a long time. The ladies killed it. They probably should have ended it with that, but overall, the show was really great. What do you think about it, Jay?
I honestly thought it was one of the best shows I've ever been to because it was so up and personal. Our seats were about maybe 4 feet away from the cage. You get these plastic cheap glass, and then you also get a fence in front of it to kind of keep us distant. And you bang on it, and it's so cheap you can literally probably knock it down. But we're behind that, and in between us is the glass and then the ring. One word to describe my night for me is lucky. I really felt very much lucky to be at such a spectacular event. My star of the night had to go to Io Shirai. I thought she was great. And it was awesome to be there, man. Honestly, you can't really describe the atmosphere unless you've been to the Performance Center, and you know what I'm talking about. And for people that don't know what the Performance Center is, it's almost kind of like a garage of like business. It's like a bunch of businesses and like a warehouse in the back. And in the back there is where they hold the practices for the it's the PC for the performers that were just signed for NXT performers. Legends come there and train, and it looks like pretty much a warehouse in the back. And man, do we go crazy in there? We're banging on the glass. We're starting chants. There's only 50 people, like Niko said, about 40, 50 people allowed inside. So you get up close and personal, including with the wrestlers too. It was cool. Got to say hi to Karrion Kross in the back. A few other people. It was a good time.
Well, let's talk about that women's War Games 2020 match. You had Team Shotzi Blackheart, Amber Moon, Rhea Ripley, and Io Shirai taking on Team Candice LeRae, Toni Storm, Dakota Kai, and Rochelle Gonzalez. And I'm going to tell you guys, folks, I think Rochelle Gonzalez.
Raquel Gonzalez.
What's her name?
Raquel Gonzalez.
Raquel.
An Ember Moon with an E.
Did I say Ember? What did I say?
You said Amber Moon, but let's go.
Oh, whatever. They all sound the same. But what a match it was. I honestly think the women did a little bit better than the men. I'm going to tell you that. Some of the key spots that I have in the women's ladder match, when Shotzi got on top of the ladder and jumped off on the Candice LeRae, breaking her arm, that was a real high spot in the match for me. Also, Io Shirai's trash can extravaganza from the top. That one again was another crazy ass move. And here's one that I want to actually discuss with you too, because if anybody knows me or anybody, I listen to Busted Open, Sirius XM. I think it's channel 104. And Bully Ray had a point on there. Bully Ray, David LaGreca were reviewing this on Monday. So Shotzi Blackheart brought a toolbox into the match when she first got in. Okay, this is the one thing that kind of, I guess, aggravates me is when they do something, they need to sell it the right way and not just make it look like it was a BS sell. Shotzi hit Dakota Kai with a hammer. Now, I don't know about you two, but if one of you hit me with a hammer, I'm out. Okay, I'm laid out. All right, I ain't getting up. I'm not gonna do a moonsault off the top rope. I'm out. She did not sell it. She got hit. She went down. She got back up 5 minutes. What do you guys think?
I mean, in her defense, I counted several of these. Hey, Xander, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. I counted several of these hammer hits to the back, to the head, to the legs. And, I mean, if you get hit with a hammer, you're dead. But if you get hit with a chair, everything's okay. Like,
well, no, I get you.
If you get over the head with a trash can, you're going to be okay. But a hammer kills you. I mean, like, this is professional wrestling at its finest. They're taking it to the next level at War Games. So you got to throw in the toolbox and the chairs and the tables with everyone's name on it. I know we're just talking about the women's match, but the women in general, they tore the house down, and they needed that kind of added level of craziness to make it what it was. So I actually enjoyed the toolbox, and because I thought it was really cheesy when Birch pulled out the croquet or whatever cricket paddles,
Yeah, but you know why he did it though, right?
I know, because he's from over there and all that stuff. That's fine. But for the reason is that Shotzi had to step it up, and she did. She brought it up to another level. I do agree with you that hitting over someone in the head with a hammer and they get up 2 minutes later, but you got to also understand that they're standing there for 45 seconds while someone climbs to the top, puts a freaking trash can on their head and jumps off full steam, and they catch it. So, I mean, we're not talking to normal people here.
Right.
Hey,
I concur with Niko. Let's talk about the definition of War Games is basically being tactical to advance. You're in a ring for 2 rings this night and a cage. You're in there for 45 minutes. There's going to be some issues. Everything's not going to work perfect. So you throw in the toolbox. You get a little distracted here and there. You got to expect some of the some of the match to go unaccordingly, so to speak. So I thought the women, like Niko said, this was a springboard for them. They needed this. They needed to have a War Games to prove to the world that, hey, we have our mark in wrestling today, and we can main event wrestling events. Because honestly, if I was to put the matches in order, that would have been my main event. We could go into that detail later, but I thought the women's match was a 5-star match. They all brought it. They all brought all they could. Rhea Ripley had a good. She looked good in the ring. Raquel, Candice LeRae looked great. They all looked pretty good. I mean, Shotzi was amazing, and it almost looked like parkour, man. They were doing some intense flipping and slamming into things and jumping over things, and you need a little talent for that, man. So I thought that was great, honestly. I mean, what'd you think, Vince, overall?
I think the best part of the match was when Gonzalez threw Io Shirai from the top rope with one hand through the ladder. That to me was the main spot right there. I mean, yeah, it was cool to see Io Shirai jump off the trash can and Shotzi doing, but I feel like that right there just catapulted Gonzalez to a higher level. Now she's showing her true colors as an actual women's wrestler. She's not just being a bodyguard for Dakota Kai. She's showing that, hey, listen, I'm more than just a tall 7-foot woman, Amazon woman. I am there to kick your ass. And that's what she did. And I really liked it. I enjoyed it, man.
They're comparing her to Kevin Nash.
Raquel's the star, dude. I saw her the moment I saw her. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Kevin Nash is a clown, but Raquel is a star. I saw her walk.
Did you not hear her new nickname? It's like big something cool. She's got a new nickname. It's they're
How
after
is that
the.
compared to Kevin Nash because they have the same nickname.
I mean, man, they're bringing it down those lines. It's
So Raquel, I
it's
think
ridiculous.
Raquel's one of those athletes that sticks out like a sore thumb when she gets in the ring because physically she's very impressive and she has the look and she's meant for professional wrestling. And right out of the bat, they're having her beat up dudes. They're having her face off Rhea Ripley. You know, they're having her do these big spots before she's even getting started. So I imagine big things from her. She's going to be the type of person that slams Nia Jax, body slams her, and it's a Hogan Giant moment. No offense to Nia Jax because she's no Andre the Giant, but you know what I mean. The unthinkable. No woman like Lana or Asuka could dare body slam Nia Jax, but Raquel Gonzalez could body slam Nia Jax.
She's come a long way from the cowbells, that's for sure.
What's up, Xander? Thanks for joining. Yes, I'm Niko Extra, the Niko Extra.
Let's talk about Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. What a match these two had. Timothy Thatcher, he's a beast, man. He is a straight beast. And I'm very surprised that he's not in MMA because his style is ground and pound, on the ground, submissions, and that's what he is. Tommaso Ciampa is more of a street fight kind of rough kind of guy. But I got to tell you, Tommaso really hung in there with Timothy Thatcher. What do you guys think?
So let me ask you this: have you heard of Timothy Thatcher prior to NXT?
No, I'm not gonna lie. I have not.
Jay, had you heard of Timothy Thatcher prior to NXT? I
Not
had
at
never heard
all.
of the dude, and you know we're all pretty deep in the wrestling.
But he was UFC.
No, I don't think he was actually in the UFC, but he plays that character. He was in Evolve. I'm just looking at his thing. He's been wrestling for a while. He's born in '83, so he's 37 years old. He definitely has what it takes to sell as a legitimate badass in the ring. His match with Riddle pretty much solidified him.
Oh, that was a great match.
You know who he kind of reminds me of? He kind of reminds me of Bob Backlund. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't know if you guys.
I see.
I don't know if you guys see that, but I mean, I think Bob Backlund was way more of a character to me.
Yeah, he's got to have more personality than that. But they let him choke out Tommaso Ciampa in the middle of the ring. I mean, that's a spot that you don't give very many people, and that's something that Ciampa doesn't do very often. So he obviously thinks highly of this man as well.
Me personally, I thought it was a shitty fucking event last night. I thought something about the matches, the order of the matches. I didn't even go, man. I did the whole COVID test. I'm lucky that I got an email today. But I couldn't make it, man. I got out of work late, and then I was just
Did she send you a nasty gram?
there was nothing on the match card that I truly desired to go. And I'm sorry that I didn't give my ticket to someone else, but I looked at the match card and I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna rush there. Who's really fighting tonight that I'm truly interested in watching? But I just thought
screwed my dude because I didn't go get COVID tested and then you didn't show up. She's gonna be like, 2 spots were missing.
Yeah, anyway. We're the chant leaders. We're getting back in there. But I don't know, man. The order of the matches was backwards to me. I thought it was a crappy NXT show.
It's hard to watch both because I've been when I'm home I do the whole Wednesday Night Wars, even though NXT is getting their ass whooped by AEW, who almost hit 1 million, by the way. They hit 990,000. It's hard to watch both shows and consider them equal. You know what I mean? They're not. Turning on and you see Kenny Omega, Moxley, Cody, Sting, and then you turn over there and it's freaking Johnny Gargano in the ring saying stupid shit with his lisp. He's like, I'm so happy I'm the champion again. Like,
right. Corny. I mean, you got to. It's not on the same level anymore, man. You got Sting over there. The storylines are better.
They're so desperate at NXT that they're pushing Leon Ruff, and that's no offense to Leon Ruff. I know you guys interviewed him, but their lack of talent right now. They don't not have the people to be. They put the strap on him. I know it's a storyline, yada yada, but like. There should be someone more qualified on the food chain of WWE, NXT than that, in my opinion. And right now, NXT is in a lot of trouble. They don't not have a lot going on. You got Karrion Kross, obviously, Dreams in the doghouse for his actions over the past year or so. And other than that, who's the stars there? Ciampa's old. Gargano's NXT American Champion. Who is the title contenders? Balor's 30-something, 38 years old. I mean, I don't know. NXT needs some new talent for sure. And the crew they signed the Rascals from Impact, and that's cool and all, but they're not champion.
Yeah, I saw the new recruitments, and I did not know one name on the new recruitments.
Look at the last 3 recruit lists. I mean, yeah, I'd say they're utilizing Anthony Green, whatever his name is now, with the beard, and they're using Stallion. But other than that, a lot of those people, like the big Arab guy and all them, they just kind of sit there and don't do anything for a long time. Look at Bugenhagen. How is Bugenhagen not ever wrestling?
Is he still part of it?
Yeah, he walks by us every day. I actually have never met Triple H. Have you guys met Triple H?
He almost walked over to us. He almost walked over to me last week, but then
he almost walked over to you.
He almost did, and then he yells out, I don't know if you guys been tested. And I yelled back, I said, Trip, I'm not sick. Can you please come over? And he just got in his limo and did his thing. But yeah, that was about
why we would put Ember in the main event. She's a jobber. Ember is not a jobber actually at all.
Elvis, I'm with you, Elvis. Why put this is nothing against women's wrestling. I love women's wrestling.
Zing.
Right. I just thought that that Balor should have been the main event. You know, that segment with Balor should have been last, not first. But I mean,
I gotta ask you guys, how hot did Scarlett look on NXT last night?
Scarlett's beautiful. I've seen her
in
person. She is a breathtaking woman, and it's a smoke show or whatever. I don't know if she's actually going to get in the ring and do any wrestling though. Do you, or is she just going to be more valet style?
Either way, I don't mind seeing her. It don't matter to me.
Have you seen any of the McMahons? Well, we're not going to go into the details, but Jay met Shane McMahon 2 weeks ago. And do you want to meet Sting or Kenny Omega? I've actually met Sting and worked with Sting when I worked at TNA Wrestling. So I've already met Sting. I've never met Kenny Omega. What about you?
I've ran into Triple H at NXT, but he don't talk to anybody. Like he
keeps his distance. He keeps his distance from the fans.
Yeah, but I've said what's up to him, but he's not. It's crazy because
he's not approachable, man. He's not approachable.
No,
he's not cool. Let's put it that way.
Right.
He did come into Ale House that one night.
Yeah, with a camera crew.
I wasn't there. I don't think Jay was there. I don't think Niko was there.
Nope.
But he came in there and left. So I mean, he does care about the fans. I mean, he is thinking about us, but he's just not a approachable, talkable kind of guy.
Right.
It's hard to be at the top of the mountain. You guys don't understand exactly where Triple H is in the totem pole. I mean, you do because you know he's married to Stephanie, but when you get to that level, things are different, man.
Yeah, you already signed enough autographs, and you know you've met enough fans. You've been Triple H for 30 years. The problem is that you gotta pay to meet those kind of people. You know what I mean? When they do those meet and greets for $100, $150, that's when you're able to meet them. And you know, a lot of the women do that. You know, you really can't walk up to a women wrestler. You got to go to a meet and greet to meet Alexa Bliss or something like that.
This year, if they do WrestleMania with the meet and greets, I'm gonna do AJ and I'm doing Seth Rollins.
I doubt Roman will even do it, but I would like to get him.
You don't think Roman would do it?
I'm more excited about like Comic-Con on the side where Jericho, Hogan. I don't know if Hogan will do WWE again, but they get Jericho, Foley. You know, they get all.
Roman's not doing anything, dude. He goes into the arenas in a limo and comes out in a limo. He's the only wrestler on the roster that does that. Bray Wyatt comes out as the Fiend through the side. Everyone walks out. The only person that drives in and out is Roman, Vince, and Tripp. Those are the only people that get that kind of luxury.
He's Roman Reigns. He's the face of WWE, whether anyone likes it or not.
Well, guys, did anybody catch up on AEW? What do we think about? I don't think this show was that great this week. I really don't. I think the segment with Sting and Cody was kind of weird and just
see ya, kid.
That and the whole Tony Schiavone thing, like that was. I mean, for some fans it was cool, but to me it was just like a little weird. Like, we're really gonna make Tony Schiavone say Sting in the middle of the ring for no reason.
That part wasn't great, and they're not using Sting right. He's coming out, he's pointing. It's back to the crow Sting kind of where he points the bat and stuff, but then it's just like kind of annoying. I'm not.
I mean, how do you use an old ass 61-year-old?
Well, it looks like they're going to use him by putting the strap on him and making the AEW World Champion.
Right.
I was just going to tell you that I saw a picture today, and it had a post of both Goldberg with the strap, and right next to him was Sting with the strap. So, are we seeing that Goldberg's going to come back and beat Roman for the title?
I sure hope not. I see Roman holding the belt all the way to WrestleMania and placing against The Rock if that's the moneymaker you want to see. Goldberg versus Roman is not the moneymaker that anyone's asking for or wanting to see, because this can go one of two ways. Goldberg doesn't have long, intricate matches. He's either going to spear the shit out of him and pin him, or he's going to spear and miss, and Roman's going to job him out quickly. It's not going to last more than a couple minutes, and it's not going to be a great match. I just don't understand why Vince has the need to go back to these old farts.
He doesn't have the need. I don't think he has the need. I think he wants. I think he has soul ties with these people. It goes beyond.
I don't feel like that. I mean, Undertaker absolutely, but Goldberg, it's money, dude.
Vince sees them as they've been there a long time. They've been there forever. They've been the face of the company for years and years. And some of those wrestlers that he keeps on the top tier, man, he keeps those guys happy. He keeps those guys in the loophole. It's just
shows exactly how out of touch he is when he goes over to, and I realize he's trying to please the prince. But when you're having Shawn Michaels and Triple H versus Undertaker and Kane or stuff, you know what I mean? Like, no, thank you.
I'm telling you, if he had a Yokozuna, he'd be using Yokozuna today.
He wanted Zuna and the Ultimate Warrior, I heard the prince asked for Yokozuna and the Ultimate Warrior.
It's like, yeah, we'll give you Dana Warrior. But yeah.
So, did you watch NXT? Or I'm sorry, AEW at all?
I did. I watched most of it, more than NXT actually, because it's just a better show overall. I think the tag team division is so deep there.
Oh, it's always solid. They're always. I tell you what, I wasn't a big fan of that Young Bucks match that was on AEW.
Flippy, they're annoying.
There really I can't really say that there really wasn't a match that you're gonna listen. And the whole thing with the MJF and the Inner Circle, that was a little lame. And you know what? It's not going to be the same without Moxley. I'm telling you. Like if Moxley's not going to be there, it's like who is the next heel that's going to
what is Mox's story right now? Is he leaving?
Or Renee Young's pregnant?
Right, but he's not. I mean, she's not 8 months pregnant, right? I mean, he should.
But guys, listen. How can you guys say that if Mox isn't there, who's the next runner up or whatever? Dude, they have over 20 wrestlers that I can name that can dominate every Wednesday, every time they have pay-per-views. I mean, you got Rusev, you have Lance Archer, you have endless amounts of talent over there, man. That you got Matt Hardy still, you got Sting now. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, they have to rotate these guys, and I think that's what AEW does a lot better. Is they have a good rotation. I mean, even their Tuesday night show, it used to be 3 or 4 matches, dude. Their Tuesday night dark whatever, they're having like 20 matches. I'm like, dude, when are they doing this?
I realize you have a BTR shirt and a BTR.
Yeah, dude, I'm BTR Mark tonight, man.
God damn, that's BTR. That boy BTR. All right.
If only I was Sting, right? I could sell this BTR.
Guys, we're kind of avoiding something that is really big that didn't get brought up yet, and that's AEW and Impact Wrestling working together. Don Callis showing up, and the reason that Kenny Omega is the champion now, knowing the storyline that Callis and Omega have had over the years. He said it himself. I've known him since he was 10 years old, and to know that Callis is the pretty much owner of Impact Wrestling, him, Josh Matthews, and a couple other people pretty much run. I don't know about this kind of ownership, but definitely president ownership. So,
why do you think out of nowhere this happened? Do you think Impact's in trouble and AEW might buy him?
Absolutely. But I think if they're smart, they'll leave it as its own brand, because just merging in there is just going to do nothing but screw over all the talent that's already there now. like a Miro, like a Jungle Boy. You know, those kind of people fall farther down the line when they bring over the North and Moose. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. Moose coming over steals someone's spot at AEW. EC3 coming over steals someone's spot. All those people are really great, top-notch wrestlers and Impact. That the problem with Impact is they're on Access Network and no one gets that shit. So no one gets to watch it, and no one's going online on their internet to watch it on Twitch or Stitch or whatever the hell it's on. It's just not, that's not how people work with this kind of show. So they need to step up their game and make it back to a regular network. If they were on a Paramount or something where it reached 1 million people, they would have hit really big numbers with Kenny Omega on their show, probably around 500,000. But instead they got 200,000, which is great for them.
Right. I think they're testing the waters, man. I think, you know, it's I think that's a chip on their shoulder. I really do. I think Cody Rhodes and Tony Khan, they have a chip on their shoulders to prove that they can be just as good as WWE. So let's go out and see if we can merge with other companies and conquer that one, you know, company that's been on top of the mountain forever, you know? So maybe Tony Khan sees as, look, you know, as WCW, they battled with WWF for a long time and they came up short. So maybe we need to see if we can merge with other companies. So, you know, I see it as a business move. I don't know if it's going to work, only because Impact is kind of stagnant when it comes to talent. I don't see any, you know, major stars on Impact that are really you know, sticking out. They're all great wrestlers, great matches and stuff, but you know, I don't see anything fresh over there that I'm turning it on for, even though, you know, they do have legends, but I do see it as a business move, and I don't know what's
possible that the people running Impact haven't marketed those people in the ring effectively to you to not be appealed to them. You know what I mean? Those same people, like, guess what?
Possibly.
Dexter Loomis is a star in NXT. Sammy, whatever his name was, Sam Shaw over there. He was a weird
Callahan.
Was it Sammy Callahan? No, Sammy Callahan's another dude. He was someone else over there prior to being that, and it didn't work, and now he's over here. He got injured, but still, like, you can rotate and switch your character, and then all of a sudden you're hot all of a sudden, and that boils down to the talent that's running NXT and the lack of talent that's running Impact. Impact needs to get absorbed because they've already lost their way. At one point when they were TNA and they were Hulk Hogan and they were trying to go Monday Night War against WWE, that was a long time ago. Those days are long gone. They've accepted the fact that they are not number one. They're not number two anymore. AEW is clearly number two, and they might not even be they're definitely not number three behind New Japan Pro Wrestling. And then it's between you and Ring of Honor, which is a shame because both of you have a lot of talent, but you're not doing shit with it. We got some questions if we want to answer. Let's see. What do you think about Taz? Because Cody, I feel like that'll be a cool match, even though they're pretty old. Taz versus Cody. You want to see that?
No.
No one wants to see Taz in the ring. Taz is too.
No, I don't want to see that.
If the shows outside of WWE mix and feel more with wins and loss records, would that WWE get left behind? I think the wins and loss records is stupid, personally, and in fact, the resets every year is ridiculous.
See, no, I agree with you. I do see the sports aspect of it, kind of like an ESPN MMA sports way of ranking things, and I think some people do enjoy that. Go back to that first question. Xander Walker. I think some people have ties with Taz. They enjoyed Taz as a wrestler in WWE, and they want to see him back in the ring. I think that's what it boils down to. Is Taz still capable of that suplex and the choke out and the things he does?
No. He hasn't been capable for probably 20 years. What would make him capable now? Didn't he get injured too, to where the point where he had to do announcing? Because I mean, like, people say the dumbest shit. No offense, Jordan, to you or anyone, but like chanting for CM Punk, you know, wishing for Sting to get in the ring, knowing he's had injuries. You know, I've heard the fact that Sting might not even, his wrestling matches might be somewhat cinematic where he doesn't even take bumps. A stunt double take him and stuff like that. Like, you're taking this shit to the next level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To have the character still be relevant.
I'm still, I'm with some of these guys that live in 2002. You know what I mean? I'm one of those guys that, I think, SummerSlam 02 was better than, anything nowadays. I understand where they're coming from, where they want everyone to fight, Cody Rhodes. They want Undertaker to fight Cody Rhodes. It's
One
crazy,
more
but
match. What if Brock
yeah.
Lesnar goes to AEW? Like,
So I got to bring up because we brought up Dexter Lumis. Do you guys think that the Dexter Lumis match right now that's going on, him and God, what's his name? Why am I drawing a blank? What's his name?
Cameron Grimes.
Cameron Grimes to the moon.
Do you think that they've ran out of ideas with these guys? Because I mean, look, we've seen him in a strap match. We've seen him in a blindfold match. We've seen him, go out of the wrestling ring into a haunted house. I mean, what else can these guys do? Are we seeing? I mean, is Dexter Lumis getting over because they're liking the creepy side of all these matches, or is Dexter Lumis because listen, again, Keith Lee was a star. He was a big star. Now, I don't think he's really that big of a star. I mean, okay, he was in Survivor Series, he's getting a little matches here and there, but he's not like he was in NXT. They dimmed him down a little bit.
My question, I'd have to say it has a lot to do with the fans, Vince. I think the fans not being there gives these promotions more leadway to see who can contend for the belt. More so because let's be honest, if these guys come out to the ring and there's 400 or 500 people there, who's really cheering for these guys?
Well, nobody.
Nobody. Exactly. So why not see if these guys could build a fan base with no fans around and see if they could get viewers on TV versus having a full arena of fans, them coming out to the ring and getting no pop. So it's better for them to test the waters now and see, who they have in the back of the locker room can draw attention than to have these guys tested when they're bringing fans back and we're full packed in there and then you bring them out and there's nothing, no attraction at all. So let's see who can we grow in the company and who can we not grow in the company. This year's been quite weird, and so the matches have been weird, and so that's what I see. But going away with COVID, you'll see less of these guys on the main screen. But what we're starting to see who can contend it, and that's the question we ask ourselves as fans: do you think Dexter Lumis is a contender for a belt in the future? Do you think he's a rising star? Do you think Cameron Grimes is a rising star? Do you think Leon Ruff. Leon Ruff is a contender, and that's exactly what these promotions are doing. The whole COVID thing's got it all whack.
Jesus.
I honestly feel like Dexter Lumis and Cameron Grimes wrestling each other this lengthy in all these different scenarios is a way for both of them to grow their character. Cameron Grimes is amazing in the ring. He's one of the best in-ring talents. He was trained by Hardy and all them, you know what I mean? But his character outside the ring has been lacking, but not lately. He's really stepped up his character and done this whole thing where he's a persona and he can go in the ring. Dexter Lumis, on the other hand, has this really great character, but his in-ring's been lacking. However, with Cameron Grimes in the ring, we've actually seen some really great matches with Lumis, and I've been enjoying it. So I think both of these people are getting to show what they are capable of, and the beauty of COVID for something like that gives guys like them the opportunity they wouldn't normally have. Like,
I think it's a slap in the face by WWE to take Leon Ruff to the next level and leave Lumis behind, because
I agree. I think Leon Ruff is
a better character.
It's parody. It's comical. It's not for me though, but. I hate the fake crowd, by the way, Blue Cantrell. Thanks for joining us. I think that.
But you guys, Leon Ruff is a character that can get buried and nothing will happen to his character. You can't do that with Dexter Lumis. You can't have him go out there and job to a black mass and then give Dexter Lumis North American title. It won't work with him. With Ruff's character, you're able to. He has that sort of character where he can do whatever. He could take losses, he could take wins, and he'll always just be mediocre. So that's the difference. You're building a star out of Lumis.
Perspective on wrestling I've ever seen.
You're building a star out of Lumis, and Ruff is your backup character in the back. Hey, Ruff, go out there and take a loss or take a win. That's what Ruff is.
Thank you.
You guys know the same person on TikTok.
Liking my TikToks.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Niko has some great TikToks, man.
I can't understand what he's saying to you.
They're just saying like thank you that they're complimenting.
No,
him.
I'm talking about Jay. I can't understand what he's saying.
Jay's just a fanboy. He's all excited about Dexter Loomis. It's all good.
Yeah, huge fan.
I think he's really great. No, I think Leon Ruff is funny, but the longevity of Leo Ruff's career, he's not the next Rey Mysterio, because if you're short like that, you have to be outstanding, and he's good, but no, sorry.
Well, let's talk about what happened with the men's War Games match. A lot of spots. Now, and I don't agree with you about Pat McAfee. I really don't. I think it's a joke.
He's had 2 matches, 2 wrestling.
But he's a joke. It's a joke. It's a big joke. Like, okay, he did a dive off the top. Okay, he's probably pissed himself when he did it.
He did a backflip off the other side too through a table.
But can I ask you something, Vinny? Can I ask you something? What do you think of his athleticism?
I mean,
he's an NFL
do you think he's an athlete?
Well, I can give it to him because he's an ex NFL kicker. So I mean, in that part, he has me. But I look at it like this. I mean, he always plays the I'm a scared little girl bitch, and then when the guy's hurt on the ground, he's this tough guy.
That's heel 101 though, man.
I know, but I just it's like it just something about him, it just rubs me the wrong way. Like,
that's what he wants you to do. You don't understand. We're sitting there and NXT is so intimate that David Sanderson, shout out to David, can be like, hey, McAfee, you suck. And he looks over right at us because he can hear us. And he's like, yeah, you blow. You know what I mean? He's so witty and sharp with his reactions. And him on the mic, for having the experience he has doing this, is very impressive to me. You cannot take away his mic skills. That group right there needs him, because none of them fuckers can talk. Oni Lorcan, my doppelganger, dude can't cut a promo if his life depended on it. Birch, and even our boy, you saw him yesterday with Kyle O'Reilly. He stood out as lacking skills with promos.
Yeah, Pat McAfee. I mean, Vinny, do you think that he might have potential? Do you think that his heel work is any good? That's the question you got to ask yourself about the guy. Not so much the wrestling yet, but do you think his heel work is good? What he's doing, with guys that basically, besides Pete Dunne, didn't have that great of a storyline. What do you think of his work thus far?
I think his heel. His heel promos are fantastic. I mean, I can't not give it to him about him cutting a promo and stuff. But I do think sometimes if you listen to him, I do think he lacks on wording. Like his new promo he has, with the shirt. I don't remember what it said, but
for the brand,
huh?
For the brand.
No. No. There was something about I win and you suck, or
that's awesome.
I win.
Sum it up. You think he's a cornball?
Huh?
You think he's a little corny? You think he's a little corny?
Oh yeah, I think there's some corniness to him. But I do agree what Niko said about that group needs him, because none of those guys really can't cut promos. Like that, a lot of those guys from overseas, their main strategy, what they're good at, is wrestling. I mean, and a lot of these guys are trying to learn how to speak English and how to translate, what we would call here Spanglish. They might call it a different lingo, where it's like they're learning their lingo in English. It could be hard for them, and I mean, and take a look at like Io Shirai. Io Shirai, I think, is talking a lot better English than, let's just say, Asuka. Like, you can understand Io Shirai. Asuka, you're like, I don't even know what the hell that bitch said. Like, I have no clue what she freaking said. So yeah, I do think McAfee is good in some aspects, but I don't think the wrestling part. Like, I tell you what, he did surprise me when he faced Adam Cole. That was a surprise, and some of the stuff he did in that match when he jumped from the bottom to the top rope. I mean, that's athleticism. That's him bringing out his NFL skills, which I can't knock him for that. But do I think he could be a good in-ring competitor or a champion? No, I don't
Is
think
he HBK? Of course not. But he's not supposed to be HBK. He's not going to be the showstopper. He's going to be very entertaining. He's going to make you hate him, which he's successfully done, Vince. And he's going to be impressive in the ring. He's going to be surprising every time he gets in there because he's daring to do shit you wouldn't do. If I was going to guess out of all those people, I would have never in a million years said McAfee's the one jumping off the top. I thought for sure it was going to be O'Reilly that was going to do the crazy jump. Who did you think? Because every war game, someone goes off the top. Who did you think? It was Adam Cole. He's the obvious choice. He's already done it. But for it to be
I
McAfee,
thought it would be Pete Dunne. I thought Pete Dunne would have done it.
Pete Dunne or O'Reilly was the guy that I expected that to do that. And
but did you see that kick? Yes, you see that kick that Kyle O'Reilly did to? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Pete Dunne did to Kyle O'Reilly, and Kyle O'Reilly did a flip afterwards.
Yeah, he backflipped it.
Yeah, that was
that
kind
match
of cool.
wasn't very great. I mean, I want to go back. I haven't got a chance to see it, but it's so good. And I never do this if I'm there live. It's so good that I'm going to go back and watch it as a fan on the network.
I think another.
Is he the next? Is he the next Eric Bischoff? I don't think so.
No,
But no, not at all.
I tell you what, he can sell his ass off, and I tell you what, that suplex that Adam Cole did, where McAfee was on the other ring, and he suplexed him from one ring to another. I mean, you have to really think about how big that gap is. I mean, that was at least a 2 or 3 foot gap.
Yeah.
So for him to be on one ring and suplex into another ring, that's pretty impressive. The Bobby Fish spear through the table, that was a big, and that broke it messed up his arm. So now he's, Bobby, I can't tell you the last time Bobby Fish has not been healthy.
I think he gets injured every match he's in. It's sad because he is so talented. He does give it all. He just can't stay healthy. And that's always going to be Undisputed's biggest challenge because they are seasoned veterans. Roderick, Adam, they're not kids anymore, and they're all going to get injured personally. So let me just ask you this. Do you think Undisputed's going to move up unanimously as a group, or does Adam Cole get the move solo and then bring them, or is it break up or what? Do you think they all come up as a gang?
I think that Adam Cole needs to have more victories without Undisputed coming out and jumping people because it'll show his credibility as a wrestler as people compare him to HBK. And HBK did not need 3 guys to come out and ransack the ring and whatever. So I think if you want to compare him and build his legacy, you're going to need at some point for Adam Cole to go on a solo run and not have these 3 stooges come out and mess everything up. And then, and I also see ever since that last takeover, what was it, 30, where Kyle O'Reilly fought
Balor.
Finn Balor. I thought I saw a lot of maturity out of Undisputed, not interfering that much, and Kyle really putting it out there, and I could see him going on a solo run as well. So I think their maturity level is getting better, so to speak. So who's to say they don't split up? But also they're kind of small, you know what I mean? But HBK was small, so.
HBK is a lot bigger than Adam Cole. I've sat next to both them people, and Adam Cole is significantly smaller.
Yeah,
he's bigger than Rey Mysterio, and Rey Mysterio is a world champion, so his size does not matter. And Adam Cole definitely has the skills and the promo. He's got it all. So
I mean, I know he has HBK as one of his good friends. He mentors him at the PC. So maybe he's learning greatness, and we'll see what happens.
I think for that, and this is Blue brings up a good point for Adam to get his solo run. There needs to be a jumping of Adam and Kyle or someone taking over as the new leader of Undisputed. And Undisputed is going to need a reboot, just like DX did when it was Triple H and Shawn, and then all of a sudden it was Road Dogg and Billy Gunn and you know what I mean? Like they had a whole gang. So that's going to happen too eventually. So if Undisputed doesn't move up as a gang, they're going to beat Adam out, so to speak, gang style, and then whoever, Kyle or someone will be. I mean, it should be Fish because he gets injured so much, so he'd be a great leader to the whole thing.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I just hope that it's not anytime soon because NXT right now does not need anybody else to move up because, like we've talked about in the beginning of the show, they're very lacking talent. You know, I think it was a really bad move to move up Keith Lee, and a lot of the guys that are in.
I mean, Keith Lee and Riddle both being on Team Raw shows how bad that Raw and WWE, the main brand in general, is in trouble and starving for new talent and not happy with the current talent they have, because they wouldn't be moving these guys up and making them Team Raw if they thought Ricochet was the answer, or whoever.
Yeah, I mean, they totally dropped the ball on Ricochet and Aleister Black. And
they got Ricochet and Dana together. What a shitty pair. No offense.
And I also think Ricochet is going to be. I keep hearing from the grapevine that Aleister Black's not happy that his girl got fired, and he's not there. He's not happy with his character. I see him leaving soon. I see him, which is a shame, because I really had big hopes and dreams for Aleister. I see him leaving soon because they're just shitting on top of him.
Aleister to AEW confirmed. AEW is they're literally pulling WCW right now. They got Shaq. They're on TNT Network. They got, names coming over. They got this and that. They got the Impact Wrestling. It's just like, God damn it. You've already seen this story. Why are you doing it again?
They're forcing us to watch it, and that's what they're doing. They really are. I thought the match, but speaking back to the match, I thought it was a level down from the women's match. I really enjoy watching Undisputed in the cage matches, and I really enjoyed it. But there was a point in the match where the 2-on-1 at the beginning was a little lackluster to me. I don't know if you guys, felt the same way, but I thought the first 10-15 minutes of the match was a little slower than the women's. And not to compare it, but it was okay. It wasn't the greatest War Games overall. The experience was much better than anything that I've been to, but the men's match just wasn't as good as the women's match. But I did think Undisputed was going to win the match, and it was good to see see a change. And so I thought from that aspect it was pretty cool not to see something like a recycled match where Undisputed just wins again and again and again. So it was all right.
Win?
Huh?
Didn't Undisputed win?
Yes, they won. Yeah.
Okay, so never mind. Undisputed won. That's how much I wasn't into the match, man. Honestly,
talking about. I remember them sitting there doing this shit on the
so
thing.
who pinned who? Who was the
pinned McAfee? I thought. I don't remember. Or maybe I don't know. Maddog will know. I'm sure.
Well, good for Undisputed.
Where's Maddog at?
The main event was.
You want
was
that spinner
great.
bell? Follow me on YouTube, buddy. It's coming soon. We're at 750, 250 more. We're gonna give that puppy away.
What's our buddy Mad Dog up to? Let's bring him in.
Mad Dog.
Hey, Mad Dog.
Happy holidays, Mad Dog.
You can see all my stuff in the background. Right. I actually forget who pinned who, but Undisputed did win.
Yeah.
And
exactly my point. No one was really into the main event. I'm sorry.
Now, I do have some breaking news here. As you guys know him, former WWE star Zeus actually just passed away today. My thoughts and prayers are with his family. His actually was WWE.
Debo died?
No, Zeus.
Mr. Jr., 62.
Zeus is Debo, isn't he?
He was in No Hold Bars.
Yeah, Debo is Zeus. Yes. He was also in Friday where he knocked him the fuck out. His greatest role.
Yes.
You really just broke the news to me right now. I'm not gonna lie. I did not know Debo passed away. So thanks for the late breaking news.
That happened. Also,
I can remember being a kid watching Zeus and Hulk Hogan No Holds Barred, and my mom took me to that shitty match or the movies to watch it.
Also, Pat Patterson, as you guys know, a couple days ago passed away. Condolences and thoughts and prayers to him. He actually started my favorite pay-per-view, the Royal Rumble. That was all Pat. So yeah, he had a big, friendship with Vince for many years, and Raw, SmackDown, and even NXT did the 10 bell salute for him. So yeah. So that's
first openly gay professional wrestler.
There you go. I wanted to also bring up breaking news today. which we actually got to see kind of at the end of War Games. Gargano posted a picture on his Instagram saying the gang's all here. At the time, Candice LeRae was in an arm sling. Turns out WWE has confirmed to multiple sources that LeRae's arm is really broken from the match, and who knows how long she'll be out for. So that is something that is just also...
she's going to use that cast. That cast is going to be her new favorite weapon when she comes in.
Arm sling, yeah. So, the biggest news, obviously, of today is, as you guys know, WWE is moving to Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg. They have to change their COVID procedure testing because the wrestlers have to quarantine either in their hotel rooms, or if they live near Orlando, they can quarantine in their house, until their showtime. They can't do that with St. Pete's because St. Pete's is a little farther away. So WWE is changing the COVID procedures and the testing with that. So that's one of the biggest things there. I also have a rumored pitch of next year's WrestleMania, and it was supposed to actually possibly happen this WrestleMania, and it didn't happen. So it was supposed to be a Brock Lesnar, Keith Lee, and Drew McIntyre pitch. Triple threat for the WWE belt. That was pitched but never got up to Mr. McMahon, so who knows if that's going to happen.
Brock Lesnar, Keith Lee, and Drew McIntyre. And you know what? That's the perfect opportunity for Keith Lee to become the WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
Exactly. I agree with you there completely, and it would have been a smart move for them to do, pull him up during WrestleMania, the biggest show, and hopefully it happens next year, because I've been hearing that Brock Lesnar, yes, AEW wants him so bad, but WWE's making plans for him at WrestleMania. They're booking this rematch with McIntyre and possibly throwing Lee into the mix, so I hope that happens.
Brock already squishes everyone. He can't go to AEW and squish Cody and Kenny. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't take losses. Sure, he'll sell out the set at WrestleMania in the main event, but he's only going to do that once a year. So what's their long-term plan on AEW with him?
I don't know. I mean, what's the long-term plan with Sting? I mean,
have we confirmed where WrestleMania is going to be at this year?
It's going to be in Tampa, hopefully, at the Tropicana.
Yes, that is being worked on. That's going to be at the Raymond St. James Stadium. Yeah, it's being worked on.
Which means we're going to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Maddog.
You live up north. You don't live in Florida with
Jersey, so But
no disrespect, Maddog, to the news and rumors. Rest in peace, Pat and Zeus. Yeah. But do we honestly care that Candice LeRae is out? Do we care for that main event at WrestleMania? I mean, and what was the other rumor? The COVID.
That's a badass. I mean, that's way better than Roman and Goldberg. Come on.
That's also something that could happen at WrestleMania.
What is your main event WrestleMania, Jay?
Hopefully, if there's fans, I want to see Rock versus Roman.
So supposedly Rock's not allowed to wrestle. He's got too many contracts with too many people that he's not going to be able to get to the ring this year. So what's your next?
I don't know, man. I mean, I got to see, man. For my ticket to be $400 or $500,
let's assume Rocket's in there. What's your next favorite match?
Bray Wyatt versus Roman, or Bray Wyatt versus SmackDown. Bray Wyatt versus Edge. I mean, Edge involved in there somewhere. I mean, I got to see a legend, man. Brock Lesnar isn't doing it for me anymore. I need to see somebody else, man. I'm sorry, but
good point, Xander.
Right.
Go ahead. Finish this up.
Right. So this is something interesting. As you guys know, Sting made his appearance last week. You guys were talking about him. He said he wasn't happy with this final run in WWE, and that's what made him leave WWE and go to AEW with a multi-year deal with that company. So I can understand where it's going, this whole WCW happening again. I met Eric Bischoff actually here. He came to New Jersey, and, he said he was at the top of the ladder. He said, you met a guy who was at the top of the food chain back then. And, I got to, talk to him for at least 10 minutes and asked him questions of NWO and about all the other stuff he did with WCW. And he's right. He was at the top in AEW. They're getting at that level. And with Sting, they could do that. With this multi-year deal. The only thing is, Sting's up there, 61 years old. We have Goldberg at 53 years old. They have all these old timers, like Jay said, Brock Lesnar. He's up there too. You know what I mean? So it is one of those things where, the older guys are just keep going and going and going. How long can they go for? You know what I mean? It's just one of those things,
Uso.
I'm with you, Blue.
Nah, they're not going to give us Roman versus Jay and Jimmy are going to fall back in line and be Roman's crew. And that's good for them.
I agree with that. I don't think personally the WrestleMania match I want to see is personally the Fiend versus Roman, the match that should have happened at this year's WrestleMania, the original damn plan, and they canceled that plan. Then they did Goldberg versus Roman, and that got scrapped, and then Roman bailed out, and it was Braun Strowman versus Goldberg. So yeah,
right. Fiend wins Royal Rumble.
I will say that Bray fits a lot better than he did on SmackDown.
Well, the other thing I have to congratulate on, Becky and Seth had their baby. I still don't know how to pronounce their daughter's name. Rue, that's it. Yeah.
So she's coming back next week, huh?
Becky Lynch, women's champion, Royal Rumble, confirmed.
I mean, Seth was written off for at least a couple of months, so we won't see him on SmackDown for a little bit. But and the biggest one I have here is Charlotte's coming back. I'm hoping it's at the Royal Rumble, and they want to do a mixed tag team with Andrade and her. What I've been hearing from multiple sources, that they want to throw Andrade into the mix because they want Andrade to be a bigger superstar. They want him to get more momentum, and they think Charlotte can do that for him. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm going to ask you guys what you think on that because I have no clue.
I mean,
I don't really know Andrade that much. So
until he learns how to speak English, he's not going to be an effective superstar as far as the top of the food chain. Everyone knows he's engaged to Charlotte, so he gets a pass as far as being legitimate. Everyone's going to say, oh, he's getting this push, just like she gets her push because of her husband or her dad. He's going to get the same kind of push. He's very talented in the ring, but when he's not fighting Rey Mysterio, is it a great match? Because him and Mysterio can go all day long, but not many people can go like Andrade goes. So I don't know where he fits in this thing, and I don't want to see her fighting with Andrade against Bray or Bray and whoever. Alexa, I want to see her win the Royal Rumble and go against the Sasha Banks for the WWE Championship.
Right,
dude. I think they're couple of the year, man. I think they really are couple of the year. They're inseparable, man. Every Instagram post I see, Andrade standing tall. Charlotte's by his side. She's happy. He's happy. Been
watching her a long time. She's the same way with her ex too. She's a clinger. Stage 4.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that Charlotte is the one proposing this on the table. I mean, Vince, you think she comes back with Andrade? Should she? Does she need him? Does he need her?
No. And I think Charlotte comes back and she wins the belt again. She comes back, she wins the belt maybe as soon as Royal Rumble. Or she makes a debut back into the Women's Royal Rumble, and that brings her into the main event as she maybe could win the Women's Battle Royal, which I think that's going to happen this year.
Right. And speaking of the Royal Rumble, another big one will be possibly Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns. They're trying to set that up as of right now. I know that Daniel Bryan is writing his character on SmackDown and is on the SmackDown creative team as of right now. So he has a lot to do with this whole, story of his character and the whole possible him versus Roman. So that's going to be something
boring. I don't want to see that shit. Daniel Bryan has lost his.
He doesn't want to. I spoke to Daniel Bryan for 10. I spoke to Daniel Bryan for about 10 minutes a couple weeks ago. Daniel Bryan does not want to main event anything. He wants to put wrestlers over. He doesn't care. You know, he doesn't care about the he doesn't care about the fans' reception. He wants to he's literally there to put the fans over. He sees it as a psychological business move for him. He's content with his lifestyle now, with his family, and he wants to grow the wrestlers that WWE currently has. He does not care for the belts. He's not there for, you know, the fan base or anything like that anymore. He's strictly there for a business move, and he explained it to me pretty thorough, which, you know, it was sad to hear, but.
Here's my next question for you then, Jay. Here's my question. How does he feel about his wife, Brie Bella, and Nikki coming back and trying to win the tag team champions from who the hell is it? Nia Jackson, Baszler? Who was it? It's Shayna and Nia, right? Are the tag champs?
I mean, can you imagine Shayna Baszler and Nia Jackson against Nikki and Brie Bella? Holy shit, what a snooze fest that would be.
Yeah, bro. First of all, you know, I didn't ask them that question because I think they're a joke.
They
First
do that.
All, how are they
like Maddog,
the Hall of Fame ballot. The Hall of Fame ballot.
For Nikki Bella's action figure. I'm getting her elite.
All right, we got Vinny yawning. Let's cash out of here, everyone. Any last requests here? Anyone want to give any credits? Behind the Ropes Media, your website. You probably haven't updated in 6 months, but go check it out. I'm sure.
I'm trying.
I mean, I'm being honest. Let's be honest. You probably haven't. You can go to our Facebook. You can go to our Twitter. Behind the Ropes. We're everywhere. We're in YouTube. We're on Instagram.
Make sure you check out
on Instagram. I saw Jay working the Instagram recently, so good job on that. And Maddog works our Twitter like there's no tomorrow. I think you might have hit 20 posts today. So, and I see sometimes you get 100 likes or so on some of them things. That's pretty good.
Yeah, right? I have to check the analytics out.
I want to shout out USA. You know, Maddog had a USA response.
It's tribute to the troops. Yeah, man, they did that on the 18th. Yeah,
and then Niko's grinding, and he's got an ESPN.
ESPN. This is a true story. I did appear on SportsCenter.
Was it on SportsCenter?
Huh?
It was on SportsCenter?
Yeah, I had a friend write me and said they saw the video on SportsCenter. A coworker actually wrote me. So I made it all the way. And that's been a dream of mine to make it a SportsCenter, even though it's not actually me. It's a video I took, but whatever, I made it. Fuck it. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us behind the ropes. We'll be back next Thursday, same time, same place. And leave us your questions. We'll answer them in advance. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.